I would like to put a few money pits on your radar today, which I also like to call money guzzlers. Now, a guzzler is usually not a term we use in finance, and I've worked in wealth management for well over 15 years, but I kind of like the idea of a money guzzler for describing something that nibbles away at your wealth and at your money without you even noticing it. And if you missed the money guzzler on the picture that came with this video, I'm going to show it here once again, so be careful, watch out. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Gotta love this. So join me on my walk today here in Hamburg, Germany. I've left Switzerland for a small trip, and let's dive in. I won't be advocating for frugality in this video. Being frugal usually means cutting down costs really aggressively, and this can take the shape of opening your toothpaste tube and scratching out the last toothpaste inside. Now, there's no right or wrong. I think this is anyone's decision, how they want to live their lives. So it's a very personal and individual decision. What I want is point out to big cost blocks where you can really optimize and improve your savings rate by reducing costs. And being cost conscious is, I think, important for building wealth. The conversations I've had with wealthy individuals over the years have proven that most of them are cost conscious. And I think a good example of this is Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon. At the beginning, where money was scarce, he, for his office table, instead of buying a new expensive office desk, he went away and just took a door and used the door as the desk. He just put the door on 2 feet. And that's where he worked for many years. And the decision he basically made was prioritizing the business and the money that he had invest in the business instead of fancy furniture for his office. And I like to adopt the same philosophy for my personal finance, and maybe you can consider doing that as well. I'm very conscious of what is important to me and what I value, and I'm okay in spending money on that, so I can also have an enjoyable experience of life. And the rest I really cut down ruthlessly. So that's a bit the approach. And also, having said this, don't forget that building wealth is also about increasing your income. And think about it this way. You can only cut costs so much, and in theory, you can increase income limitlessly, okay? So try and increase your income at your daily job by, for example, increasing value for your employer, or also try and start a side business. For example, a side business alongside your normal work that can boost your income, or even going into business full time. So the topics we're going to cover today is just a summary. These are not all. I will start with a few. I might do another video to cover the rest. But so here we go. The first one is insurances, okay? So I've done a bit of research, and in Western countries, households have around 6 to 7 insurances. It seems like a lot to me. And the insurance industry is quite good at playing at your fears. You might have noticed this when you go out and you rent a car, for example. Usually you get quite a hard push to insure against damage to that rental car. So the way I like to think about this as a rule of thumb is I think about the potential damage that could occur, and then I decide if it's actually worth to insure it. Let me take an example. So if you would accidentally damage someone and you could be charged with millions of dollars for compensation, that would be a risk worth insuring, right? But if it's like an insurance for your phone or for your bag or things like that, I personally don't think they are worth it. Also, watch out for mixed insurance products when the product aims at insuring a risk as well as investing your money. Usually these two combined are very expensive and you don't get the optimal return. So be really careful with this type of insurance. The next one is also a big one, which are opportunity costs and inflation. And I'll put this together and I'll explain quickly what this means. So many countries in the West show that households hold a tremendous amount of money in their bank accounts. And the challenge with this is if you leave your money in your bank account, it will be eaten up by inflation over the years. Okay, so we all been witness of this the past years, the effect this can have. And even if we're at the target inflation rate of 2%, which is what economists have deemed is okay for a working economy, if you take 10 years times 2%, in 10 years your money in your bank account will have lost its value. So this is a big money guzzler. And the other way to see this, and this is the opportunity cost side, is if you don't invest that money, and investing is really important to build out your wealth, you will be missing out on returns. So this can have a tremendous impact on your wealth also over the years. So it's really important to invest your money as well. Now, when you invest, really pay attention to the costs needed to buy and sell whatever you're investing in. And also pay attention on the annual fees that these investments might have. These are big money guzzlers. So for example, if you invest in a fund that costs you 1% instead of 0.5 or 0.4, even lower, 0.10 ideally, or lower, this will have a tremendous impact on your wealth as well over the years. This can be hundreds of thousands of a difference in on your portfolio. So just be aware of when you're investing to also keep the costs low, and also not go in and out of your investments all the time. Every time you buy and sell, you'll incur costs, and that can really eat up your returns as well. So just be careful with this. Okay, so the last one for today, and this one is an emotional one, because a lot of people give a lot of value to this. So again, I'm not advocating for a frugal lifestyle on this video. I'm just putting things on your radar. And if you don't like this one, just maybe consider it as an option where you could reduce costs. So it's a car, having a car, right? Having a car, as you know, can be expensive in many ways. It can hit you in many ways, like depreciation of the vehicle, maintenance costs, operational costs, maybe financing costs. And these will all add up. So the best way, I think, to think about is if you can avoid a car, if you're in a city or in a place where you can actually avoid it, well, really good, because you can save a lot of money with this and invest. But if not, maybe consider just going for a cheaper car, or going for a car that is at least 1 year old, because then you've avoided the biggest hit in depreciation, which cars lose a lot of value in the first 12 months, as you might know. So this is just give you an idea and put it on your radar. I personally, I live in a city where it's super well connected, and I've just dropped my car, believe it or not. And I use many other alternatives, and I'm super happy with that. Something to think about. All right, let's do a little recap. Being cost conscious is really important to build your wealth because it improves your savings rate. But it's also really important to keep an eye out on your income. This is, in my opinion, where the real wealth can be built. So don't forget to also try and increase your income steadily. What I would encourage you to do is to track your costs for a while and identify these money pits or money guzzlers and try and put them to rest for good. And you don't have to track costs all the time. I personally do it sporadically. I don't think it's worth it, the time spent on tracking costs every day or every month. I'd rather do it once in a while and make sure that your spending is still in check, and then optimize and cut costs where needed. And what I also would encourage you to do is to watch my second video over here, where I talk about behaviors that can cost you a lot of money over time. And yeah, otherwise, I thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing. Tell me where you're from in the comment section below. Love to hear where you're from. And otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy. Bye-bye.